the Big Easy Chef here. This time we're going to be making stuffed eggs. Not just your typical stuffed eggs, but ones that are turned up a notch or two. Also, you're going to see how to make these colored eggs. So let's get started. Start with some fresh large eggs. Now here is a tip. If you poke a hole in the egg on the end that's more rounded with a pin, you'll have a brighter yellow yolk, and you won't have the sulfur smell that eggs get after they're hard boiled. Place your eggs in a large pot. I'm using 18 eggs, as the dish I have holds 16 eggs, so we'll have a couple leftover eggs to sample. Add to the pot enough cool water to cover the eggs by at least 1 inch. Throw in a good tablespoon of kosher salt. Place your pot on a burner. Turn the heat to high and bring the eggs to a boil. Then reduce the heat to maintain a low boil. Allow the eggs to boil for 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, remove from the heat. Drain the water and rinse the eggs with cold water. When the eggs are cool enough to handle, then start peeling the shells from the eggs. The shells should just peel right away from the egg. Next step is to remove the yolks from the eggs. Now most of the time, people just cut the eggs in half and stuff the half. I like to think of this way as eggs on the half shell. I like to do something a little different. I cut some of the white away from the top of the egg to reveal the yolk. Then I get the yolk out and place them in a bowl. Now, if you don't have a fancy stuffed egg dish, here's a cool trick. Cut a little from the bottom of the egg. This will allow the egg to set flat wherever you place the egg. Now, to mix your yolk mixture, add 3 tablespoons of mayonnaise. Next, add 2 tablespoons of sweet pickle relish. Drain some of the syrup away from the relish, as you want your yolk mixture to be as dry as possible. Now add in 2 teaspoons of yellow mustard. This mustard is going to give the yolks a nice tang and add some brightness to your mixture. Now add about 1 teaspoon of kosher salt, a half teaspoon of fresh ground black pepper. Now throw in a tablespoon of roasted bell peppers that you have cut into small pieces. When you add red peppers to egg salad, it then becomes deviled eggs. So now you're making stuffed deviled eggs. If you leave out the red peppers, then you just have stuffed eggs. You can adjust these ingredients after you mix up the yolks. You can always add a little bit more of this or that. Now give your mixture a good mix and smash up the yolks as you mix. You could also smash up the yolks completely before you add the ingredients. I like smashing up the yolks with the ingredients as this leaves some texture to the mixture. Your choice, either way is fine. You'll end up with the same results, some great tasting eggs. After you mix up the eggs, give the mixture a taste. After tasting this mixture, I decided it needed a little more mayonnaise, so I added 1 teaspoon of mayonnaise at this point, and I had the perfect mixture. Okay, now we're ready to start stuffing those eggs. You could place the mixture in a piping bag and make them look fancy, or you can just spoon in the mixture, which we're going to be doing today. So just spoon the mixture into each egg. Pretty simple. Now if you want to know how to make those colored eggs, then stand by. Now don't just think of Easter for your colored eggs, as you could color these eggs for different events. Think of your favorite sports team. Think of St. Patrick's Day. You could color the eggs green. How about 4th of July? Red, white, and blue eggs. Think about Halloween. Maybe some orange and black stuffed eggs. So you need a bowl that is deep enough for the eggs to be completely submerged. To this bowl, add cool water, and then add 1 tablespoon of distilled white vinegar. Now add in your favorite food color. Start with a few drops. You can always add more. Also on your food color box, there should be a chart for mixing different colors. So you might want to check that out. Now drop your egg and allow it to set in the water for a few minutes. The longer it sets in the water, the darker the color will be. When you take the egg out, it'll even turn darker. You can set the egg on a paper towel to allow the egg to dry a little before stuffing it. Now we're going to make some stuffed eggs that look just like giant stuffed black olives. You use the same method to dye the eggs. You just need to have black food color, and drop your white into the dye mixture and allow the egg to set in there for a couple of minutes. Now it'll turn darker when you remove it from the dye. Oh, don't forget to sprinkle your eggs with some paprika after they're stuffed. This is the final touch to add to your eggs. Okay, so there you have it. You can make the perfect stuffed deviled eggs, and they do look pretty fancy when they're done. Try making some soon for your next event. Remember what they say, you are what you eat, so eat healthy. Until next time, I'm the Big Easy Chef. Also, be sure to check out my website, thebigeasychef.com.